Hello there, people of the internet. I'm out here at the old range visiting some family. This is not an older episode. I still own this range. Well, I guess the family does. I'm just not here because it's like 5 hours away from where I currently live. But this is the range that you guys see a lot on like older stuff on the channel. I figured I'd go ahead and do some filming while I was here. I wasn't planning on it, but hey, I have some free time. May as well put up a camera and do some filming. And one of the things I have up here is this old Mosin Nagant rifle. I've showed off a couple of videos with this rifle now, but I don't know if I'm going to put this video up, honestly. I just want to talk about the nostalgia I feel whenever I mess with this rifle. This rifle specifically, I've messed with other 9130s, other Russian refurbishments, like just other Mosin Nagant rifles. But this one specifically just holds a solid place in my heart, because this is essentially my first real rifle, my first rifle in a full-powered center fire cartridge. Before this, I had a 410 shotgun, and I used my father's 22 long rifles, and I used my father's Remington 870, but like this right here was the first real rifle that I got my hands on. Bought it for 80 bucks back in the day whenever you could get these rifles for dirt cheap. And we bought a tremendous amount of those 440 spam cans, and I spent a lot of summers shooting this rifle. I remember what I used to do. Every time I would shoot a cartridge, I would take that spent shell casing and I'd set it up and I'd shoot it, and I would just do that over and over and over, like all day long. Now that stuff was extremely corrosive, and I never cleaned out my rifle. I just did not quite realize the downsides to that. Combine that with the tremendous amount of ammunition that I shoved through this thing, and well, this rifle is basically completely shot out. She keyholes, so we don't have any real tremendous accuracy with her, but I still like taking it out and shooting it, especially because like at the distances we're currently at here from the car, I can still hit things. Even if the rifle is going to keyhole, you can hit things at these distances. This is like 25-30 yards or so. So it's good enough for clinking steel. And I'm not going to be using it for much more than range tripping. So there's no reason for me to what's the word I'm looking for? Be discouraged by the condition of the rifle. I do wish that I paid more attention to the corrosive ammunition, and I do wish that I treated the rifle a little bit better, but I mean, I definitely got my use out of it. I got probably about 40,000 rounds or so through this Mosin Nagant, just going through the spam cans over and over and over and over and over, like from my entire middle school and high school career. Every time I had a summer, or every time I'd get off of school and it'd be like a weekend, I'd go out to the range and blow through like an entire tin of that 440 rounds in like a single weekend. I'd shot the absolute hell out of this rifle, and to this day, whenever I come out and I shoot this thing, I just feel so nostalgic, because like this is my rifle. I'm so intimately familiar with it. This rifle has already been counterbored. I could try to counterbore again, but the inside of the barrel is just quite worn. I might replace the barrel itself down the road, but then once I replace that barrel, it's no longer really the rifle that I had. I might just keep it original and use it as like a 25 yarding in gun. So speaking of 25 yards and in, I'm going to go ahead and send a couple of rounds downrange. This rifle, specifically the Mosin Nagant, it just seems to be nostalgic to a lot of people. Not just me, although this one is very nostalgic to me. I'm sure we can all relate to the Mosin Nagant just bringing us back to a different time. Not necessarily a better time, but a different time. Might be better for some people, might not be better for some people. Definitely not better for me. Like right now, my life is the best it has ever been. Yeah, I think I hit the concrete on that one. That's okay, that's what you get for keyholing rifles. But the Mosin Nagant has served as like a gateway drug into the military surplus market for a lot of people. They go out, they get themselves a Mosin, and they're like, oh boy, Look at this really cool bolt action rifle. A lot of people still want Mosins, even though they are significantly more expensive than they used to be. But back in the day, when you could get these for dirt cheap, I mean, there's just something about picking up a Mosin and it being your first rifle, and you're like, wow, I really, really like this. And it's just kind of a yearning for those times, especially the prices of those times. I miss the days where I could go out and get myself a spam can of 440 rounds for like 30 bucks. It was insane, like how much ammo you could get for how cheap you could get it. And I do wish, I hit the ground again. I do wish that we could see something more similar to that. But nowadays, 7.62 by 54R, even like the cheapo steel case stuff is like 65 plus cents a shot. It's insane. The amount of money that you spend on this ammo that you used to get for dirt cheap. I find it crazy. I think I missed every single one of those shots because this rifle keyholes. I find it crazy that like the cheap steel case, actually no, I find it crazy that like the old school spam can corrosive surplus ammunition, which used to be really cheap, is actually on par with the price of non-corrosive modern made ammunition, which is insane. I mean, I understand if it's like surplus sniper grade ammo, but people want the same amount of money for like just standard run-of-the-mill light ball ammunition as they want for modern production 7.62 by 54R. It's stupid. It is so stupid the way the prices have gone with the Mosin Nagant, but people are paying it, so there's no reason not to ask that much money. And you got the supply and demand, and you got the people willing to pay the price. So that's just the world that we live in. Hooray for capitalism. They were cheap there for a while, and I got myself a couple of Mosins. This right here is the only one that I really got for back in the day whenever they were extremely cheap. I really regret not buying more, but hey, what can I say? Back then I was too busy dealing with middle school. God, I hate that I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, well, if the Mosin Nagant brings you guys back to a particular time period in your life, I'm sure that you guys are going to tell me about it in the comments. There's just something about the single stack magazine, the rimmed cartridge, just the everything. There's something about the everything of the Mosin Nagant. There's no other rifle like it. There's tons of rifles out there that take a rimless cartridge. There's tons of rifles out there that have like a double feed box magazine. Like, I can't think of a single bolt action rifle that has a single stack rim cartridge that's a smokeless cartridge. Not unless we want to start talking about like Mannlicher rifles, but those definitely don't have the same kind of nostalgia as something like this. The rifles that require you to take an in-block clip, with the exception of the M1 Garand, however it is you want to pronounce it, those rifles just don't necessarily appeal all that much to me. I don't like the idea of you needing like this external clip in order to feed your rifle, unlike something like a Mosin or a Mauser or an Enfield or something like that, where you can load individual rounds into your magazine because the feed lips are built directly into the magazine. Makes sense for the time period where these rifles were being developed, for people to use the Mannlicher system. Fast system, it's got its benefits. If your feed lips on your clip get messed up, just swap the clips, versus feed lips on like a magazine. Those get messed up, you're in trouble because you only have the one magazine. Okay, all right, I think I've rambled on I've rambled on enough with this video. I don't know if I'm going to put this one up. I just wanted to talk about the nostalgia I feel with the Mosin, and I'm betting a lot of you guys feel the same way. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. You guys go off. Have yourself a fantastic day. I'll see you on the next episode. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. It's a shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.